Alright, as you can see, I got tape on that door, and the reason being is that I've had this plan that I've been meaning to put into motion for a long time, and a few weeks ago I just started finally doing that. So, we are going to be doing custom fabricated door cards. So, it started off as paper, newspaper. I put a bunch together, and then I taped it to the door. I drew around the outline, I cut it out, I mocked it up, and then I took it to the cardboard, and then I cut it out. Obviously, these are rough because, you know, you can tell it's not perfect mock-up. I have to move it around a little bit. But yesterday, I just finally had time. I did this a few weeks ago, and I've had no time to go run to the store. So yesterday, I just finally had time to go to my local Lowe's. And I picked up two 24x36 sheets of aluminum. So, yeah, I did mock it up earlier, and it is a good match. There's obviously, you know, extra room on purpose, so I can make sure that I can trim down as needed. And this is actually the design itself. Obviously, it's pretty simple. I have another design up in the app. I'll put it right here, but yeah, so obviously metal on metal, super loud. So I'm going to put foam inserts just to cushion it a little bit. I'm going to put bolts, obviously, self-tappers to, you know, keep it in place. And yeah, so yesterday, well, actually, I've had these foam pieces. These are the foam pieces. But these foam pieces I had left from putting this together because, you know, to space out all the stuff. I picked up Holesaw's kit, because obviously I needed to make sure that I can cut out where the handles are going to be. So, yeah. And then, obviously, I picked up these. I got the 1 inch just to make sure. I might go back and get 3/4 inch if I need. I picked up these washers because it'll help cushion it a little bit. As you can tell, they have like rubber end pieces, so it'll help cushion the sound from all the metal on metal. As well as these, 2 each should be fine. But yeah, enough talking, let's get into it. So I have the aluminum set on two 2x6s with the tire holding them in place, well, 2 tires. And I was cutting it with the grinder. It's honestly a little bit harder than I thought it was gonna be. You can see my lines aren't that great, but yeah, not bad. Obviously, there's a lot of sharp edges I gotta sand out, but yeah. I'm going to mock it up and then just keep trimming away as I need. Alright, so from here it looks all cut up, but it is not. So, it looks like this. I kind of had to smash in with my mallet over there. But this is what it's looking like. I have to take in the left side a lot. I haven't even touched that side. Only working on the right side for now. So for now, I have to put it all the way to this side. And then, so it has to follow this line right here. This little dent in. So I'll have to take in right there a little bit more. But when I mock it up about where I want it, it looks pretty decent where it's at. It's about where I wanted it to be at. I would have liked it a little bit more to come out here, but I need to bend that in a little bit. And yeah, then I can start cutting because it's where I want it. Alright, so hundreds of little pieces everywhere later, and still a ton of pieces on there, but it's pretty much how I want it to look. Obviously, it has to lay flat, but I'm going to clean this up, polish it, finish cutting everything else that needs to be cut off, and then sand it down and whatnot. Round the corners a little bit more. And yeah, let's test close it. So I've had this around there just so when I take off all the locks and stuff, I'll be able to open it again. But let's go around the other side, see how it looks. Alright, honestly, fitment could be better. Obviously, I have room over here if I want to, and down there. But honestly, if I wanted to, I could bring this down a little bit because it's level with this right now. I could bring it down like this much, It'd close this gap a little bit. This is just folded in, so I could easily flatten it and make it a little bit more full here. This is pretty much how I want it right there because I don't want it all hugging. But yeah, I'm happy with this, honestly. I mean, I might just bring this one out, but besides that, I don't really care about the bottom. But yeah, that's how it's looking. Alright, so it's currently 1 in the morning, so I can't cut or sand down any of the edges and prepare that, no polishing or anything. But I can start to mark up where the handles and everything that I need holes will be on the back, so I can take my Holesaw kit and start drilling in what I need. Alright, so I started doing the second one, and obviously you could tell that I've cut out the outline. Now I'm deciding between just folding it in and smashing it flat, or slowly like breaking it away. I tried to use the Sawzall, did not work. And then I tried to use the Dremel. The cutting wheel shot at me, so that didn't work. And I also tried to use the grinder, and that was just, it was awful. I mean, so I'm gonna bend these all back, and then I'm gonna test fit it to the other one. Honestly, not my best work, but it's not bad. I did fold everything in and use the mallet to kind of hammer it in flat, so it's pretty flat on there. It's not bad. It actually kind of reinforces the edges a little bit. Now I do have to go around and sand this edge because that edge is still really sharp, and then I have to cut a slit for the pull straps just so I can actually be able to open this door. But yeah, and then after that I pretty much just have to polish it and then put foam on the back and then mount it all, and then we'll be done. Alright, did that one. Now I just have to do that one. Alright, so first off, I made 2 holes on each for no reason because I realized that the second one, which is the smaller one, I'll explain that in a sec. The second one is a window switch to make it go up and down, not a door lock switch. It had been so long since I'd run the Accord that I completely forgot. So I'm not doing powered windows on this car, which means I have that for no reason. So now I have 2 holes that are not needed. Now the reason that they're 2 bigger sizes is because I went to O'Reilly's and they did not have those are 1 inch. I did not have a 1 inch, they didn't have any 1 inch grommets, which means I had to go up a size because I cannot go down a size, obviously. And luckily I had a 1 1/4 inch, and this is also 1 1/4 inch. Luckily I only need the 2 because they only had 2 in stock. So I quickly cut it out to 1 1/4 inch, and then I sanded it all down. All the holes are sanded, so I'm not going to cut myself. I'm going to put these on, and I did already figure out how I'm going to do the straps. So this piece is from the stock handles. It basically keeps it latched on there. And then these are the straps. They were just eBay straps, like $30 or something, $20 or something. And I got also 3/4 grommet, which I just put on there because I didn't really have anything else. So should hold, it'll go through and it'll be fine. I'll cut a hole so it'll fit through on that side so it will look cleaner. And yeah, so I'm gonna install these. I'm gonna do a quick test fit, install them, and then after that I will polish this whole thing. Alright, so I already ran into a small issue. I can just fill it in a little bit, but they're both a little bit too loose because I forgot I had to sand it down, and I guess sanding it down made it a little bit too big, which means I have to use something to like fill it a little bit. So yeah. Alright, not gonna lie, I'm not too happy with my job. I'm gonna go back and do it later. But pretty much I was lazy with the sanding. I only did 2000 grit. I didn't go from lower to higher. All I did was 2000 wet sand, and even that was just a quick sand. Obviously you can tell some of it's good, some of it's not. So I'm probably gonna go back and do that later when I actually have space and the reflexes. Alright, so I decided to do the other one, and with that one I actually used my drill with 2 different attachments. It's a lot better than that one. I still have to wipe it down, probably do another coat or 2, maybe redo it. But I just wanted to see what it would look like if I actually tried. And honestly, down here, very shiny. It's just over here that stayed very gloomy because I didn't have enough microfiber towels to properly wipe down. What I used for that was this compound with the Mother's aluminum polish. I used this foam pad as well as this cloth. This second one definitely looks a lot better now that I actually went by and did it without I did not sand this one. All I did was the cut compound, and then the polish. I'm gonna do the cut compound in this one and then polish that one and call it good. Alright, so I didn't really think about it, but as I was going to start test fitting these to mount it on, I realized that I forgot to do the foam, and I didn't really think about how I was gonna do that. So I tried to stick 3M tape because I do not have any glue or anything else to stick it to. I literally just have certain types of tape. Obviously electrical tape's not gonna work, packaging tape's not gonna work. This alone, there's no way to like stick it front and back. So I have two-sided 3M tape. However, I tried to stick 3M tape alone on the foam and it does not want to grab because it's a very weird surface. So my solution to that was duct tape, then 3M tape. So I did that for this and it seems to be holding. So let's put this on and I'll show you what I mean. Alright, so duct tape's underneath, 3M tape's on, and it should stick really well. Alright, so I'm going to stick it right here. I cut it out a little piece, and yep. So it should be on there good now, yeah. Give it a good wiggle, stays on there pretty well. Alright, so I'm going to keep adding in. Alright, I think I'm going to put a few more on the bottom there because I am pretty good on the top. Maybe one right there, maybe in the middle, but more so on the bottom. And then I'll call it good for this one and we'll get to mounting. Alright, now I'm just going to get these all set up. Pretty much just have to put these washers through here and use as many as I need because I marked up where the holes will go. So, alright, so this door is officially done. So I actually might go back and take this off and leave it to bare hole because the grommet is a little bit too small for the width of this strap. I have to legit push it through and I had to cut a little bit more, and it basically meant my curing was for no reason because it's just yanking on it and moving it around and basically taking away all the progress I did for that. So it was giving me issues for testing it. And I ended up doing 8 all around. It was 4 on the top, 1 on each side, 2 at the bottom. And now we're going to shut it, look at the fitment, and then open it. This is the fitment. Not horrible. Obviously, I have to put this trim back. I ended up taking everything out to get these windows out, which I did. And now we're gonna open it. So I have to use my elbow to open it, but there we go. Works just as it should. I'm a little bit worried that once I pull it, at some point it's just gonna stay open and I'm gonna have to like manually shove it back through, but we'll figure this out later. Now I need to take this off, mark up the holes on the other one, and then drill those, put it in, and we're solid. Alright, so I got all the foam on there. I marked up where the bolts are gonna be going through. I got all the bolts ready with the washers on them. I got my drill ready. Got some light because this side does not get any light in there. And yeah, let's get it bolted up. Alright, so it's bolted up. Now we get to make sure it actually closes and opens properly. Alright. All is well. Obviously, I ran it a little bit tighter fitment because I was actually able to go off of the first one. Now we get to make sure it actually opens. So don't really have a good way to do this. I'll just use my elbow here. There we go. Yep. We're all good to go. Alright, so I was getting a video ready to post on my social media showing how I open and close it, and then the strap hardware just broke off. So that's actually what the other one did. Now I gotta fix this one. So my fix to that one was pretty much just solder the edges again, make it nice and tight, and then poke a hole with my X-Acto knife. So now I gotta reopen this, put it back through, and work with it. Alright, we got a working door and handle again, so hopefully this is the last of it.